Gen Z doxing their parents who are ICE agents is actually really funny. I don't know if these ICE agents genuinely thought that, like, their kids would be okay with that, or if they were genuinely hiding it 100%. Like, no one knew that they were ICE agents, and their Gen Z child had to find out somehow that they were ICE agents. And so then they literally went and doxed their parents, which I just find insanely funny, because at the end of the day, like, as the ICE agents, that is your child. So, like, did they really dox anyone when that's also their information? Like, if they say their own home address, is that actually doxing these ICE agents? Like, no, it's really not. So that's why I think it's really funny. And it's just like, you guys are in the house with Gen Z, and Gen Z is not fucking with ICE. And so then once they find out, now you're being doxxed on the internet. And, like, I don't even know if there's anything that can be done, because, like, if your Gen Z child lives with you, then technically there's no doxing that actually happened, because they realistically just put out their own information onto the internet. That to me is wild. It is insane, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. I do just think it's funny though, that the Gen Z children of these ICE agents are literally doxing them. They said, actually, no, I'm going to let everyone know what's going on, because ICE doesn't have to identify themselves. So let me just go ahead and do that for you guys. Like, y'all's Gen Z children are telling the world that you guys are ICE agents and, like, giving the actual information. That's actually crazy.
Gen Z is now doxing their parents if they work for any of the government agencies or contractors that are conducting immigration raids, with Gen Z posting online, hey, this is my dad's name and they work for this agency, or this is my mom's name and they're doing this right now. They are actively doxing their parents because they're not okay with the work that their parents are doing. Think about that. Children, young adults, teenagers are actively telling on their parents so that people know, hey, these people aren't great people. I'm okay with this. Gen Z's different. Gen Z has the ability to potentially save the whole country. And God help us all when Gen A actually finds their voice, because it's coming. And they're way more brutal than Gen Z ever has been.
Hi family, how you doing? Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Olivia, in case you're just seeing my face for the first time. So family, I just saw the video trending on TikTok where kids like Gen Z's are now doxing their ICE parents online. Like, what? This whole thing is crazy. In as much as I love what they're doing, but sometimes you can put your parents in danger. I don't know. But like, yes, these are people who doesn't like what ICE is doing. They're fed up. And them calling out their own parents and saying, hey, my mama is ICE or my papa is ICE too. It's crazy. And a lot of people are like, whoa, I love the boldness, this case took, but like at the same time, let's be real. Okay, you can put your parents in danger because of this, but hey, they're actually doing that to themselves. When you guys are terrorizing everywhere, you guys are harassing people, all in the name of ex-agent. That shit is crazy. Okay, and a lot of people are not having it. The internet is on fire, guys. Anyways, stick around with me, watch the end of my video so that you know what people are talking about, or what people are saying about these Gen Z's, doesn't their parents who are ICE, of course. Okay, drop your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read it. Don't go anywhere, family, because I'll come back with more commentaries. Stay with me.
Gen Z is now doxing their parents if they work for any of the government agencies or contractors that are conducting immigration raids, with Gen Z posting online, hey, this is my dad's name and they work for this agency, or this is my mom's name and they're doing this right now. They are actively doxing their parents because they're not okay with the work that their parents are doing. Think about that. Children, young adults, teenagers are actively telling on their parents so that people know, hey, these people aren't great people. I'm okay with this. Gen Z's different. Gen Z has the ability to potentially save the whole country. And God help us all when Gen A actually finds their voice, because it's coming. And they're way more brutal than Gen Z ever has been.
To the kids that are doxing their dads as ICE agents, I want to say something that they have never said to you. I love you, and I'm proud of you.
I just thank God I'm Italian, because I couldn't imagine a family member doing something like this to me. I mean, in Italian culture, we put family before anything. I couldn't imagine a son of mine or a daughter of mine doxing me, putting me in danger, putting their mother in danger, my wife in danger, putting their siblings in danger, other family members, other friends' lives in danger. My kids, the people that I go to work for to put food on the table to feed, the ones I clothe, the ones I house, I could never imagine that they would dox me. And in an Italian culture, most of the time they wouldn't. And I know what some of you might say. Some of you might say, well, that's because this is a fascist regime. Well, I think it's also important to understand that me being Italian probably does give me a little bit more information. I have a little bit more of, stories of firsthand experiences of the real fatherhood of fascist regimes in Benito Mussolini. I understand. Yeah. Is Donald Trump like Benito Mussolini? Well, let's see. Mussolini came into power. How did he do that? He had his goons go around and they basically assaulted, extorted, and murdered political opponents. That's how they did that. They murdered activists that were speaking out against Mussolini, that were supporting other candidates. And then when he came into power, forcefully, obviously, he removed free elections. The Italian people could no longer vote. There was no longer any sort of democracy. He removed Italian constitution. He no longer abided by the Italian constitution. He literally just came in and said, well, we're going to make our own new laws now, and everybody's just going to have to follow those. There was no courts or no Congress that could fight against him. He was just this sole person that made all of the decisions. And then his goons continued to go around and assaulting everybody and murdering political opponents again. And that's how he just continued to remain in power. But then also what he would do is he would make certain laws to segregate certain people, like Jewish people. He made all sorts of segregation laws where they weren't allowed to attend certain schools and they weren't allowed to be in certain parts of the country. Does any of this sound like Donald Trump to you? Which part of it does? Okay, because here's the craziest part of all of it. Some of you might say, well, he's a fascist in the sense that he has used his authority as president to attack political opponents, trying to charge certain political opponents with things or having other departments go after certain political opponents or certain states or certain cities or things like that. But let's just make something very clear. Donald Trump, okay, when he was running for the White House in 2015, he had all sorts of accusations made against him that were just literally either ridiculous or untrue, right? Which, that's not fascist, that's just politics, okay? And then when he came into the White House and became Donald Trump and became the president of the United States, well, that's when the fascism began. But it wasn't from him. No. It was from the Democratic Party. You know how that works? Here, I'll show you how political weaponization works, okay? Your Congress, right? And you have majorities in certain parts of Congress. And what do? You use your majority to start charging or accusing or investigating Donald Trump for things that are either, again, ridiculous or untrue. You hear a story that somebody said, somebody made a lie somewhere, and then you open up a massive investigation. Well, the same thing happened with the Russia investigation. Same thing happened with the Ukrainian call. Obviously, nothing ever came about these things. That's fascism. That's fascism. Donald Trump retaliating with his authority is not fascism. No, it's not. Donald Trump retaliating is defense. Donald Trump retaliating is him just saying, hey, you guys came after me in a very fascist-like way. We are going to now take out the trash. We don't want fascism in this country. You came after me. You used your political power and your governing authorities. You used Letitia James in New York and Fannie Willis, and you used all of these different people that dictated law however they felt like they wanted to, who literally ran on the idea that we are going to somehow take Trump down. We don't know what it is. We don't know if he's committed any crime, but we are just going to find something on him. That's fascism. Letitia James in New York is fascism. And again, this is why I say that I'm very happy to be Italian, because not only does family come first, and we would never do this. I could never imagine doing something absolutely insane, like intentionally putting my parents in harm's way, especially when they're not fascist. But the best part is, I'm also Italian, and I've heard many, many stories from many of my ancestors about all sorts of fascist regime nonsense. I've heard it. So I know all about it. I've done my research. I know all about Mussolini. I know all about 1920s, 30s, and 40s Italy. I could tell you a lot about it. And everything I just mentioned was literally what makes up a fascist regime. And Donald Trump hasn't done any of them. And actually, some of those components have first been conducted by the Democratic Party. So I'm sorry. He's not the fascist. He's the rebellion. Literally, he's the rebellion. They first went after him. Now he's retaliated. He's the rebellion. So this is why I'm very happy to be Italian, because I understand and I could definitely point out what is fascist and what's not fascist, especially in a time when everybody's just calling everybody a fascist. And we put family first. And I wouldn't want to be anybody else in this day and age.
To all those kids who were doxing their fathers who were ICE agents, I just have something I need to tell you guys. And you've probably never heard it before. I love you. If you need new parents, I'll be your dad now.
You want to explain why your officers' agents have to cover their faces?
I think that's one of the unfortunate things that's kind of going on now. There has been reports, and I don't know if any happened here locally, about doxing of our officers. It's something that they don't necessarily always want to do. It's kind of uncomfortable with the faces, but as you can see, there's been, a lot of public out here filming, and so what's happening is they're trying to identify our people and then post their personal information. I think our officers realize that's part of the risk of the job being law enforcement. We're not ashamed of our faces, but the issue is these people have families too, and so they're not just going after the officers. Some of these are going to officers, houses when they have their families there. So they feel the need to cover their faces just to protect themselves and their families.
Fun fact for you. Did you know that the children of ICE agents are currently outing them? Who would have known? Who would have known that? Yeah, so this has come out over the last couple days as things have ramped up in Minnesota. And obviously it's not going to be easy to hide to your family that you are a federal ICE agent, right? And kids have a lot of access to cell phones, social media, things like that. So I guess they've been anonymously sharing that they happen to have a parent that is a federal ICE agent. So there are tiny heroes that are, doing the work. By the way, I do not support doxing. I'm going to say that for legal reasons. Anyway, follow for more. We'll chat soon.
Abolishing ICE is not just the correct position, it is now the popular position in America. Not just reforming ICE, not just defunding ICE, not just more hours and more training for ICE agents, but abolishing and eliminating the federal agency entirely is not only 10 points more popular than keeping it in its current form, but 3 points more popular than keeping it at all. That is a plurality of Americans, 46% compared to 43%, which also encompasses 77% of Democratic voters. So there is no excuse from Democratic representatives not to take up the position of abolishing ICE. Now, some of you may be asking, what about all of the great things that ICE supposedly does, like going after drug criminals or violent gangs? Well, all of these serious crimes can be dealt with by other federal agencies like the FBI or the DEA. 70% of the people in ICE detention centers have no criminal background. So understand something and understand that the vast majority of what ICE does has absolutely nothing to do with these serious crimes. ICE as an institution has only existed since 2003, along with our Department of Homeland Security that was created post 9/11. Most of this country's history, we have dealt with immigration policy without the federal agency of ICE. We can do it again.
Don't! Please, my God, my kids are in the house, you guys, please. My kids, my 2 kids and my son, please. And my son, please.
Step out.
You guys, please, you guys are scaring my kids.
Step out. Bring your kids out with you.
Okay.
Call your kids now.
I will, please.
Let's go.
Will I hear my kids? Oh God, you guys don't do this to my kids.
Come here.
My kids! Come on! Oh my God, my kids! My kids are so young! Oh my God! You guys, my kids!
Go to the left, go to your mom.
Come on, come. Oh my God, you guys are oh my God! You guys,
Who else is in the house?
nobody is enough! Oh my God! Why? My son is a citizen! We're citizens! My son is a citizen! We have paperwork! We have all the paperwork!
I want to let you guys know that I am currently hearing some conflicting stories whether or not this child is still in custody or if they have been released. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because that is a mother literally telling these ICE agents that her son is a legal citizen of the United States, that they have documentation, they have proof and everything that her son is a legal citizen. The mother was not detained, you guys. The son, the child, was detained by ICE.
Dox, your father. Dox, your father.
Your father.
Father. Dox, your father.
Tell everyone where he is.
And to the person that leaked the 4,500 identities of ICE agents, thank you for your service. Now, there's some people that's going to be like, oh my God, that's doxing. Jesus wept. I would never shed a tear about the identities of people that kill and kidnap our neighbors being identified. And the thing is, this is a popular opinion too. According to a new poll, over 57% of Americans disapprove of what ICE is doing. Anyway, so here's what happened. A Department of Homeland Security whistleblower released the identities of about 4,500 ICE and Border Patrol employees today, and what's being called potentially the largest agency data breach for the department. It's all part of the ICE list, which is an online database created to promote accountability for these masked federal agents. And no matter how much they try to claim that identifying ICE agents is domestic terrorism, it ain't. People should know if there's someone around them willing to kill and kidnap their neighbors for $50,000 a year, or just period. The ICE list is an open journalistic project created by Crust News, and it wants to collect and share information that can hold ICE accountable. And of course, DHS and the guy in the White House aren't too happy. According to the website, they have been forced to fight off multiple attempts to take them offline by the Trump regime, but they say they're going to continue to do it. So in addition to the ICE list, the site is also building a boycott list. They're building a growing list on an almost daily basis. And these are companies that have contracts with ICE and companies and stores that also serve agents, hotels that host them, and any company who did not refuse service to ICE or agents of the organization. So help them out. If your daddy, your mama, your neighbor, or friend is an ICE agent, report them to the ICE list.
No, we should talk about this because as the older sister of a 17-year-old Gen Zer, I think it's really bold to do something like be on the wrong side of history when you're raising one, because they don't play. They don't play at all, okay? If you embarrass them, if you do something stupid or against like the general consensus, your Gen Z kid will check you, okay? They'll be like, no, what are you doing? So this cracks me the fuck up. Because you really fucked around and found out like you thought your kids... These new kids are built different. They do not care. If you out here signing up for ICE and then they're learning about this stuff in school, of course they're going to rat you out. They know what side of history to be on. Now it makes sense why they're trying to change the educational system, because they can't carry the brainwashing all the way through. They got kids treating their parents like pink face treat blue.
Where is your sword?
I don't know. What do you mean, I don't know?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Alright, family, thank you so much for watching my video. If you find it very interesting, please make sure to like it, support the channel by subscribing to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye and stay safe.